Hey people, Intro here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Hades Wastes and Orks versus Chaos Space Marines. For the blue Orky team, make Eldars great again as a Mekboy, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat with a bunch of Orky gadgets. Can also repair stuff. I think this is the Blood Axes elite scheme with the caps on. Alongside a couple of war bosses. Hopefully they've figured out who the biggest is and they can get along. We've got SchmusCriminal and Great Googily Moogily. These guys walk through objects fighting in melee combat with strong support, offense and disruption. On the red team, Chaos fellas, we've got Jadow as a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects can be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. Iron Warriors elite scheme here. Alongside his Claws, Plague Champion being chased already by a Warboss. This guy starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, debilitates enemies and supports allies, can also repair into the embrace of some Nurgle worship there. And rounding off the teams is Vel as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Looks like we have the Iron Warriors elite scheme here that's been recolored slightly darker. Warboss hiding a bit, now coming through. Gets a stompy special attack there, knocks down that fella. What do we have? Double CSM for both Claw and Vel. Jadow with 2 heretics up. Double sluggers for MakeEldarsGreatAgain kicking off on this west side, I think. We have a war banner. Heretics going into a very dangerous fight there. Double sluggers. They don't seem to be engaging though. Still, the heretics barely got away. A good kill of the week. Does that facilitate an escape on the other guys? I think it does. Oh, there's a unit in retreat path though. Sluggers. Couldn't quite finish those guys, but they may finish these guys. Because they're in a really good path here. Yeah, those heretics are dead. I'm pretty sure. Yes, heretics go down. Chaos Space Marines barely make it out. Looks like the Orks have pushed all the way through the map. In the mid and the east side as well. You know, they're threatening power here. A little bit of Nurgle worship. Just saw the end of it. Double CSM against these sluggers. Those other CSM should be forcing melee combat there. Not always easy to get your fingers to cooperate when you're trying to put stuff in melee and out of melee and stuff. Switching those stances. So Jadow, does he get some more heretics up? Against the double sluggers? We shall see. I was just going to say that Claw and Vel don't seem to be spending any power, which means they want some Havocs or Noise Marines or something. And they got Havocs and Noise Marines up. And it's double CSM now for Jadow. Looters on the way for MakeEldarsGreatAgain and Storm Boys for Great Googily Moogily. And they can be a massive threat to Marines with their power weapons, especially with some Warboss support. Havocs need to be even more careful because they've only got the minor melee resistance of 20%, whereas regular Chaos Space Marines will have 40% melee resistance. I assume, I'm not sure about Noise Marines actually, they may have also been put down to the minor melee resistance at some point. These guys are following the Chaos Sorcerer out of HQ. On the front foot again now are the Chaos fellas, but they're about to meet another wave of Orks. Can they withstand this push? Nurgle worship helping out, although those heretics may be... Oh, they're in a pretty good spot, I think. Havoc setting up here. That heavy bolter will suppress infantry. There it is. Which slows down infantry and also messes up their firing pattern so they shoot slower. Storm Boys have found the Havocs. They're going to need to run. Double CSM are here to help out, but the Warboss is also closing in. Many sluggers. These guys with burners. Burners of power weapons. Also, you know, they can set stuff on fire. Give some more hit points too. Very good stomp. I'm not sure if these heretics want to come in here. Doom Blast and run maybe? Yeah, just trying to control their movement a bit. Vel. Doom Bolt's a really nice idea, getting close, but somehow managed to dodge it, all those Orks. Heretics white. Those were Vel's heretics. The last one over there. CSM. Also white. Bad engagement for Vel there. We're just trying to stem their flow, but the Orks were absolutely ruthless on that push. Is that the war banner still? Yeah, that's the war banner. That's a different war banner. I thought maybe it was a Mekboy turret. So Noise Marines have a sonic blast, can shake apart the generators. And also shut down your ranged weapons and stuff. Also just generally good damage versus infantry. Meanwhile, full power bash maybe. I think all the gens are going to go down, that's for sure. This is the northwest natural for the Chaos fellas. Mekboy thought about decapping that wreck point, but gives it up. Another War banner on the field now. And here comes Claw to help defend. Eternal War is up on the double CSM, so it's a lot of firepower now for Claw. And can, of course, support it with some Nurgle worship. Nothing yet for the Plague Champion. They're going to take down the War banner immediately here. Make Eldars Great Again, looking for an approach, but the Heavy Bolter's shutting it down. Those guys taking huge amounts of damage. Just wiped out those sluggers there. That is some really good firepower. With the Havocs, the double CSM, and the Plague Champion's Plague Bolter, which was buffed semi-recently, wasn't it? A bit. I think it's like 10 or 20% more damage now. More sluggers wiping. Really bad fight for Make Eldars Great Again. Chaos fellas coming out swinging there. Especially this little ranged army that Claw's got. 429, 432. Very even on the VPs. 1-to-1 cap. There's the decapping Sorcerer. Seeing a lot of these very wide flanking movements here by Great Googily Moogily. Oh, there's Havocs for Vel over here now. And replaced his Heretics, did Vel. Here's the Raptors of Jadow. Jump troops with 30 DPS melee, which isn't bad. But come tier 2, when you start getting dedicated melee squads with their upgrades and stuff, they need to start being very careful and choose their fights with some care. Aspiring Champion Heretic standing up well to those Storm Boys. Doombolts flying in. This was the attempted flank by Great Googily Moogily. Looks like it's been fought off reasonably well here by Vel. Makes such a difference if you're going to hit that Doombolts well, doesn't it? Wordboy on the way for SchmusCriminal. There's a tier 2 for Make Eldars, and there's tier 2 for Claw also. Another Doombolts. Heretics doing some really good work here for Vel, these new fellas here. Decent chunk of XP already. Almost wipes out those Shooter Boys. Unupgraded Shooter Boys, but still. These guys are in a bit of a bad spot now. I think they can safely retreat. There's only a couple of Heretics there, but they're trying to lead them astray. Some electric shock from the electric arm of the Mekboy. Doing power melee DPS, which is bad news for heavy infantry. Those CSM got kind of messed up. Can they take him out? Not quite. Raptors doing some decent work there. They have that cacophony effect when they land that suppresses stuff. And there's that weird boy, of course. Very good at dealing with infantry in general. That's his basic attack there. Very good disruption and control. Can also support quite nicely too. The weird thing about him is his energy situation. You see he's got a huge amount of energy here. 500. That's because his abilities are very expensive. And he gets energy back by being near War ability usage. So his positioning can be quite tricky. There's Warphead for the Foot of Gork. And Warpath coming in for Make Eldars Great Again. So that maybe suggests he wants to get more sluggers up for the Warpath. Or he's just looking to go tier 3 quickly and get knobs going. Which is another possibility. Map looking quite red actually. Mid-map authorities for the Chaos fellas at the moment. What's this Plague Champion up to? Oh, he's getting a Plague Fist up. That's what he's doing. You just saw the Pestilent Strike there, stunning those guys and giving huge amounts of ranged damage resistance, but then he gets stunned by the Weird Boy and has to run. Maybe we'll see some Icon of Nurgle shenanigans too. It's got the Armor of Pestilence up. Orks pushing through. No bleeder for those Storm Boys. Good special though for the Sorcerer, then runs away. Fair enough. Slugger's getting through here, but Jadow's alive to it to help out. Mostly going to defend the power, I think. Only one gen's down. There's a Dark Flames from the Sorcerer. Aspiring Champion Heretic. Oh, gets away maybe. Warboss. No, he doesn't get away. Warboss loaded up an attack there, but didn't actually do it. War truck is up for Great Googly Moogily. There it is, a support vehicle for Orks. Can reinforce off it. Big fight here mid-game. Got some stick bombers on the field, getting into some melee with raptors. Electric shock on the left side of your screen. And a Warboss with a power claw. Going after some chosen Plague Marines. Warp Bomber didn't seem to hit all of them. Okay, they've repelled the attack for now, the Chaos fellas. These chosen Plague Marines are unique to the Plague Champion. They passively damage nearby enemies, can create zombies, and do some damage with time melee attacks, not to mention their big pool of hit points and health regen. There's the weird boy Zap. It's going to jump between squads, damaging them. You can try and mitigate it by moving and spreading things out. There we go. It didn't jump to the chosen Plague Marines because it had already been on them. Chaos Lord with the Armor of the Inferno and Dark Halo. A tricky power bash by MakeEldarsGreatAgain. You fellows alright? Looks like they're going to be fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. Node being rebuilt. The node going up on the western side as well. And look at this, eastern contested power turns blue. They can make a big difference if we can hold them both. Did the Plague Champion get an accessory? Oh, there it comes. The Icon of Noggle coming in. That's also going to passively damage nearby enemies. Really helps the... Well, it can really help the Plague Champion gain levels. Because he'll get a little bit of XP every time anything he damages dies. Only the single stick bomber squad for SchmusCriminal. You often see them doubled up. But Great Googly Moogily has one too. Wire banners up there too. Some flanking sluggers. Grenade launcher barrage is quite quick from Claw. And there's the Aura of Decay to knock stuff back. Pestilent Strike now. Warboss joining the ruckus. Some Daka. Everything's going on now. On the east side is over the Chaos Dreadnought by Vel. Havoc surely needs a retreat here. There we go. Are they going to jump after them? Nope. And the Knob Leader went down as well. Storm Boy's a bit too far away from the War Truck to reinforce off it. There's a Dark Flames. Quite quick to dodge though was the Great Googly Moogily. Nothing really here to threaten this Dreadnought at the moment. That can change very quickly, of course. Auto cannon is pretty decent against all targets. Was doing some good damage to the War Truck there. Warboss goes in just to tie him up. He can't do much damage to it. No war gear for this fella. Sorcerer has the Rod of Warp Fire. We may see it used right here. There it is. That line of damage and disruption. Didn't quite hit it flush though. Oh, Plague Champion's running off. He's almost level 3. Weird boy with bigger brains for over there. Can use it to fling melee squads into action or maybe get them out of trouble. Very good with knob squads, I feel like. West side looks like from the map it's going to turn blue for the Orks. Many much darker over here. Can't get their VP back, the Chaos fellas. Is this 2 Ork players? Or is this all Googly Moogily? I see lots of Googly Mooglies. So Marco Zink CSM now. Perhaps anticipating knob squads or something. Oh, down goes the Chaos Dreadnought. Tank Buster's doing an amazing job there. Huge amounts of damage on that barrage. Weird Boy's getting suppressed. Gets an attack off though, and look at that damage. Huge damage and knockback. And I think it's Plasma Cannon damage type, isn't it? So you can hit anything with that, and it'll do some good work for you. Foot of Gork. Ouch. Almost wiped those guys. You do get some time to dodge it though, I guess. What's going on? West side kicking off another Dreadnought here. This time Jadow. And a Shrine for Khorne going up. And looks like the Chaos Lord himself is going to cap. This guy could maybe get the Blood Maul if we do see some knob squads coming in. Use it to disrupt them. I think it's better to get the Blood Maul than trying to get the Claws. I think. Just knock the knob squads down and try to pummel them with Mark of Zinch and that kind of thing. Stun bombs. But then they run. Backing off here is Googily Moogily, knowing that his allies off the field, I think. Tier 3 for SchmusCriminal and Tier 3 for Claw. And here comes the first Nob squad for Make Eldars Great Again. So that is going to be on the west side against the Chaos Lord. Mekboy bouncing stuff around with the custom force field. Do the Raptors have an aspiring champion? They do not. Could use them to maybe target a weird boy. This Dreadnought is way too far forward now. There's beamy looters over there. And a Power Claw Warboss on the prowl. He's got the trophy rack to debuff enemies just for getting close to him. CSM off the field. This Shrine for Khorne will spawn Bloodletters periodically, also buffing the damage of Jadow's units if they're close enough to it. I don't think the Dreadnought's going to survive. That was over there. Warboss is on it with a Power Claw. And there's the Nob squad as well. Down goes the Dreadnought. Nob squad getting their upgrades. Elite Tier 3 melee infantry. Rocks on retreat path. Some decent hits too. I'm not sure who that was. Oh, looks like it was Make Eldars Great Again from the look of the red in the resource panels. And there could be 2 more rocks soon. Tier 3s for the Chaos fellas. Do you get Lightning Claw Terminators here? Because Jadow can get them pretty soon. I mean, they'll do really well. But here come, I was going to say, here come flash kits from SchmusCriminal. He likes his flash kits. If you get 2 or 3 of those guys, they will mess up Terminators quite a lot. I guess they'll mess up ranged Terminators as well, but at least they've got something to do from range. And they could maybe try to trade with the flash kits. Ouch. That's stick bombers wiping, I think. 332 to 224. VP lead for the Orks, but not a huge one. There's that war truck still going, is it? Same one? I think it is. Storm boys. A good jump. Havoc setting up, maybe a little bit far away. But they do suppress. And they did leave themselves some space away from the war truck as well. Slugger's actually getting messed up quite a lot here. They're trying to get back into the truck, but I'm not sure if they did. Oh, maybe they did. Yeah, I think they barely got inside. 332 to 200 on the VPs now. Chosen Plague Marines are level 2. Plague Champion almost level 4. Chaos Lord almost level 4 as well. Sorcerer is level 4, on his way to level 5. Level 5 mech now has Mega Rumbler, replacing the electric armor. Level 2 Warboss and a level 3 Warboss with no war gear. Great Googily Moogily. On the west side, Chaos Lord levels. It looks like he just hit level 4, I guess. Did he just try to use... Yeah, he just tried to use Let the Galaxy Burn, but he got stunned by the Warp Vomit. And there's some friendly fire from the Weird Boy. You don't get a Weird Boy without friendly fire. 325177. Single cap for Chaos, but for how long? Well played, the Plague Champion. Doesn't quite get them a double cap. Has to run, in fact. But did some good work there. Foot of Gork. It's so hard to avoid that with a setup team. But there's some Noble Worship to help out those Havocs while he's going to run anyway. Heretics left behind. A little bit of a grenade barrage. And then they flee. And a Nob squad on retreat path. Just bludgeoning things with those big axes. There's some Chaos Terminators for Jadow. Mekboy's down, looks like. Do you get Lightning Claws here? There's already a flash kit squad up by SchmusCriminal. The Lightning Claws will do an amazing job against this Orc infantry, though. I'd say go for it. And make good use of Bloodlust for the Chaos Lord. I don't think I've seen it used yet. Slightly underrated global Bloodlust, I feel like. Should be used a lot. Gonna get rid of my shooter boys, says Great Googily Moogily, to free up some population and stuff. These guys will be sacrificed. to the ruinous powers, it looks like here. Down they go. 311 to 146. Now he's freed up some population to get flash kits or something. A Chaos Predator tank. Should get Mark of Khorne, I think, but we'll see. Lots of resources for Great Googily Moogily. Maybe saving up for a battle wagon. Red team will get their VP back. Or will they? There's the Foot of Gork again. That may have deleted those noise marines if they didn't run. Something will eventually cap it. Looks like the Sorcerer is trying to do so. Warboss taking a whole bunch of damage. Needs to run. Stick bombs chucked in there. Are they going to die? They nearly died, but they do make it. There's a stun on the Plague Champion. The Weird Boy's causing a lot of problems, isn't he? Storm Boys lying in wait, ambushing those double CSM, and they have to run. The Chaos Predator's trying to get the war truck down. Might be able to chase it. Yep, down it goes. Chosen Plague Marines can get into those retreating squads now. Don't think we've seen the Nurgle's Rock go off yet. Waiting for a big stand-up fight, maybe. Meanwhile, through the mid, some head-butting sluggers. Raptors don't want to mess with the Nob squad, so they leave. And they have their aspiring champion with the big demonic maul thing. Is it going to be a triple cap for the Chaos fellas? I mean, they need it, don't they? Less than a third of the VPs of the blue team. Gets a decap. Now tries to get the Warboss down. They are pretty good against single entities, I think, the Chosen Plague Marines, because that damage over time from their knives all stacks up. I mean, not indefinitely, of course. It has a duration on each stack. Warboss gets back onto the VP, but that was well played by Claw to get that decap. Nob squad applying pressure. The tank... Oh, they've gone for Mark of Nurgle. Makes your tank very tough, and you get those anti-infantry explosive green crud rounds, but as you see often, especially when you're fighting, when you're shooting a melee squad, they'll just keep running out of the green crud. So I tend to prefer seeing the Mark of Khorne tanks up. Great Unclean One hits the field for Claw. Maybe Vel can keep an eye on it and warp it out if it gets into trouble. That's going to be a big help, though. And we do have Lightning Claw Terminators for Jadow. Goes for it. Needs to be very careful using the teleport and what fights he takes because of the Weird Boy Warp Vomit. Still two Weird Boys up that can stun these Terminators, and Terminators do not like being stunned. They can't retreat out of it, and it means they can't use their teleport and stuff. So it's a super aggressive unit that he needs to be quite careful with here. Mekboy quietly doing some power bashing over there. I mean, as quiet as Daka can be, I guess. They are taking the contested VP back. Double looted tanks is what Googily Moogily went for. And there's the third flash kit for SchmusCriminal. If they all get blasters, which I assume they will, big problems for all of this infantry here. You look at that tank. Over 1200 hit points, level 1. And he gets melee resistance and health regen too. Orks pushing up the east side onto the VP. Got some Tzeentchian worship and they start unloading on that Warboss, getting rid of him. Sorcerer going to stop the cap with the warp fire anyway, I think. Doom bolts, a decent hit. Those looted tanks though, eh? Did they just wipe those havocs that were there? I think they did. Good special attack that then runs. CSM are very, very low over here. And then they run. Last Master Noise Marines doing what they can. Can they get a shot before they have to run? There we go. It was a decent shot. Over there chucking two... Is that two Nob squads? It is two Nob squads in there for MakeEldarsGreatAgain. All the way over on opposite side of the map now. Tank needs to turn around. There we go. See what he can do here against this Nob squad. That shot could seem to completely miss. The Sponson bolters also have damage over time on them, I believe. And they get chucked over here now, the Nob Squad. Raptors didn't like that. Lightning Claw Terminators, here they are. Digging into a melee fight where they do best, but they are being surrounded here. And they got stunned by the Warp Vomit. Really bad place for them to be. Have they used their teleport? Looks like they've used their teleport. Is the Sorcerer paying attention to him, though? Well, he didn't use Warp if he was. Oh, he's got no red for it, look. Imperial Abyss. That's from Vel. That's where his red went. And there's that great unclean one. This guy passively damages nearby enemies. Kind of a theme with the Nurgle stuff, eh? Really nasty abilities and some powerful melee as well. Huge amount of hit points, of course, but the Flash Gits are pretty good against this armor type, which is super heavy infantry armor with those blasters, and there's 3 squads of them now. Huge burst damage potential. 162 to 55. What is this? Some heretics chasing the Mekboy on the other side of the map. Warboss, you okay, bud? That's great. Googily Moogily starting to kit himself up here. Power Claw, heavy armor, and trophy rack. SchmusCriminal's down, by the way. 149 to 55 on the VPs. Plague Marines up for Claw to try and help with these tanks, because those tanks doing some really good work in those fights. Googly Moogily has tons of... Oh, all the Orc players have tons of red here. Oh, can they get it? There's a big boom shot, which would have knocked those guys back, which is why they avoided chasing. Level 6 Sorcerer does have the Robes of Torment. We did see Chains of Torment a few times. So you can really help control the melee blobs, the dangerous melee blobs that they've got. They have 3 Sluggers and 2 Nob Squads and a Stormboy Squad. It's a lot of nasty melee. Not to mention the Warbosses. Chaos having a go at the Western VP again now. Flash Gits causing huge issues. They don't do much damage to vehicles though, which is one way to trade with them effectively. They got tossed in and then tossed out again. Oh, did he spot this? That was a really good save. I didn't even spot that. The Abyss coming in from... That was Claw's Abyss. Really nice save by whoever that was. 144 to 55, unless it was just... It looks like it was intended. Looks like it was SchmusCriminal who did that save. Looter's there with the beamy death gun. Anti-large targets. Can the Chaos fellas find a way back in? Well, they got the cap. Now their natural's under pressure though. Pestilent strike in there. Sluggers run away. All the Flash Gits. Poor Great Unclean One. Got a couple of Slugger zombies. 136.55. Let the Galaxy burn. That could be good for disrupting the Flash Gits if you can get close enough to use it, that is. Meanwhile, Mekboy is on capping duty. The Chaos Pred's in trouble being chased by double looted tanks. Almost level 3 these things. They've done an amazing job. And there's a Orks to try and finish off those Noise Marines. He really hates them. There we go. They're down. Orks looking strong. Great Unclean One has to get back to base to heal. CSM, there's another over there. It's really hard to deal with that. It's really hard because the Nob's got all of a sudden right in your face. Don't have time to suppress them. Need to have like on-demand really good disruption to deal with that. Did the Chaos Lord ever get them all? No, he didn't get them all. I think that would have been worth it. It's an expensive weapon though, isn't it? It's 50 power, I think. But I think it would have been worth it. Oh, there we go. The Chaos fellas have conceded. They were depleted at the end there. Mekboy almost level 8 with that Mega Rumbler. The Warboss is level 3 and level 6, and he was fully kitted here. Moogily, Googly Moogily at the end. Level 5 Chaos Lord. Level 5 Plague Champion is down, and a level 6 Sorcerer is down. But there you have it, guys. The Orks just powering through at the end. It was very difficult to deal with. Varied army, wasn't it? The Knob Squads, the Weird Boys, the Flash Kits, and the tanks. It's a lot of different stuff to deal with. And they couldn't quite get it together. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Big thanks to these players for duking it out in a faction war. I think it was SchmusCriminal who sent this in. And I'll see you guys next time.